talk about how Alaska is playing a greater role in the Arctic, given the geopolitical challenges right now.
Well, we've always had a great military presence up in Alaska. We have a robust Air Force with some of the best technology, F-35 fighters, large Army presence, largest Coast Guard presence in the United States is there. We are lacking on things, though, for example, and surprisingly, like icebreakers. We only have 2 in the United States. Because of Alaska's position and what is happening now geopolitically and with a warming Arctic, Alaska should have a minimum of 5, in my opinion, 5 icebreakers. We've always had close cooperation with Canada. We have a joint Canadian post at Fort Elmendorf Air Force Base. We work jointly and closely with the Canadians on Arctic sovereignty, Arctic security. Probably going to see that increase given what's happening with, as mentioned earlier, with the North Korean threats, Chinese plying the waters in the Bering Strait, and as well as a robust but probably increasing Russian presence. And so again, I think what's going to happen is you're probably going to see more discussions on increased Navy activity in Alaska, as well as, again, the need for more icebreakers to do joint patrols with our Canadian friends to the east.
I hear this from the Canadians all the time. It's a little surprising the Americans don't have icebreakers. Is there? I mean, we've known about this for a long time now. So, I mean, is there no plan to put those together?
No, there's some in the hopper. We just need to increase. I think we need to speed that process up and increase the numbers. I think what happened, Ian, was over the decades, we did have a robust military approach presence in Alaska. And I think that and the fact that for many months in the year, the parts of Alaska are frozen, right? The Chukchi Sea, the Arctic Ocean, the Bering Sea. That's changing. The geopolitical equation is changing. The post-COVID issues, as we mentioned, with realignment of alliances and countries is changing. And again, China is flexing its muscles in the Bering Strait and in the Arctic. That's changing as well. So I think as a result of that, you're going to see, I hope to see a different approach by Washington involving our armed forces in Alaska.
And I haven't asked you, but I mean, obviously, economic opportunities, because suddenly, the Arctic's passable, the shipping lanes. Also, life is changing in terms of, climate on the ground. I see that, a lot of your ice roads are no longer passable, things like that. What's the biggest impact that you are feeling that needs to be addressed from the fact that climate for our frontier state is changing pretty dramatically?
Again, I think you're going to see more opportunities, to be honest with you, in the Arctic in terms of shipping. I think you're going to see some sea routes open up over the next several decades. And Alaska is going to, I think, poised to benefit from that because you have to come down through a pinch point, if you look at the map, called the Bering Strait. And Alaska is part of that, and Russia is part of that. And so I think there's opportunities for Alaskans, especially on the northern and western coast, to make sure that we're there to be able to supply and help ships in distress. I think you're going to see a larger Coast Guard presence over time there to help with the same issues. I think like the Panama Canal, I think the North is going to have its own version of the Panama Canal, and it's going to be Alaska's, like I mentioned, Alaska's decade and next 50 years. I think it'll be Alaska's half century.